In contemporary societies, people are more and more urged to demonstrate kindness, being nice to each other, without fully and deeply understanding what it means. This makes us to copy a pre-programmed narrative without any questions, and it ends up backfiring at us. It brings up a clear difference between understanding something on a logical level or having a visceral feeling of morality and integrity. An easy demonstration of it is riding a bicycle. You can be taught to how to do it. Kicking the pedals, holding the steering very balanced and stable, looking in front of you, imagining that you're going to fly as soon as possible. That makes you to think that you will succeed in just simple steps, but you fail again and again and again until you get this feeling, this connection with the bike, when you understand that you and bike has to become one. And from that point on, it's like you're inseparable. After some time you become proficient, and only then you can advance your skills. Maybe even handstand while riding. Same thing with kindness. In other words, if a person lacks core understanding what it really means to be empathetic and virtuous, it becomes an indoctrination. It becomes something that you've been taught on a very superficial level. You can learn your equations and formulas all you want, but if you don't understand the mechanisms of algebra, calculus, and you go and do exams, you will be shocked at the slight manipulation of those problems that you thought you could solve before. What happens? Frustration takes over. You become confused over the skewed results because you thought one thing and reality ends up showing you a totally different side of it. So when you're just being nice and kind, people may take advantage of you. They may use you, they may abuse you. Oftentimes it comes from beneath. People who are struggling themselves, they will take advantage of others who are very gullible and naive to the truths of our human nature. The funny thing is, people who are overly nice and kind keep acting in that way, making it a part of their identification. They cannot get rid of it. It becomes their mirror reflection. And there's a great risk of cultivating resentment because it's never your own fault. When that trait of kindness is just a shell, it can transform to become a weakness of yours. It's not really you, and you just act that way to be liked and accepted in the community. Weakness of that sort is tricky. It's a blind side. You don't really see it biting you in your ass. It creates a snowball effect of consequences. I believe spirituality enhances a person's life. Understand what you should put your energy in. People who are suffering seek salvation, and many forget the animalistic nature of Homo sapiens. If you're trying to become self-aware of ego and making your life much more serene and gain peace of mind, it doesn't mean that others will do the same. So you have to be wary of humans' manipulative nature. This should not be interpreted being emotionless, which is impossible. Being publicly weak, especially as a man, sends a signal to Mother Nature and initiates the infamous protocol of evolution, survival of the fittest. Demonstrating weakness makes other males get tested with you. They try to poke at you. They try to see what you're about. Whether you are a man or just a coward. Whether you're soft or you're hard enough. That's the human nature. That's the social hierarchy pyramid that I was talking about in previous videos. Living in societies is a constant competition. It's not about passing the finish line first. It's about not being the last one. A dick measuring contest, if you like. It's about seeing who is the dominant one, who can be stepped on and who should be respected. Those kind of weaknesses lead to much bigger problems. First of all, you become tested verbally, and it can be triggered through your body language. How you carry yourself tells a lot how you feel about yourself. And if you're kind of oblivious to those small tests, you won't be missing the bigger ones. I remember when I changed the school, was new to this group of students, pupils. I was kind of happy-go-lucky dude. I wanted to make friends, laugh with people, and overall get along with my peers. You're giggling too much, you're laughing too loud. Some more dominant males notice that, and they would like to make a bitch out of you, making a contest initiated to see whether you will become one of them, or a bootlicker who will be making their dirty work. At first they threw some remarks at me, then they would tickle me in a kind of friendly way, but more of an aggressive way. You're not stupid, you feel the heat in the atmosphere. I never was an aggressive dude, but I had a sense of pride and integrity. So I flipped off one of those dudes. They closed the door and threw us in the back of the classroom, making us spar with each other, but I didn't want to fight him. I had a pen in my hand, and then suddenly he started to kick me, and I was very shaky. I didn't know what to do. I was like 14 years old or something like that, 13 maybe. But one thing I knew for sure, my blood started to boil up. And it's like I switched off my humanity and started to going berserk on his ass. He started tearing in his eye. I realized that I hit him with the pen that I had in my hand. Some of the girls in the class started to defend that guy because I was too harsh on him, but they didn't know the backstory. I had some fans of my own and end up making other friends because I stood up for myself. That's just an example of how weakness can breed more bigger problems. I was being goofy, that's why they tested me. And it's very important that we don't cultivate victimhood mentality and try to justify us being nice. Nah. Nature does not know fairness. Nature just is, and you should adapt and understand its mechanisms. Also, females can get tested. When they see weakness, they start to test you more. And if they don't perceive you as being a strong person, they most likely will reject you. Then you go around wondering how come no one likes you. Because you're such a great person with a huge heart and positive personality. But the question you have to ask yourself, where does that come from? The whole world becomes against you as you feel. Your genes cannot be passed on because you cannot become something you don't believe in. How you can become genuine in that perspective, you ask? A simple task that demands a hard work. You have to find your core of who you are. When you practice virtue, it's not because you want approval. It's not because you want attention. It's not because you expect something back, but because it's your second nature. Weaknesses are most often than not demonstrated non-verbally. And if you'd like me to go deeper into that topic, let me know in the commentary section. But for now, you can watch these videos and get back to me if you have more questions. Hossein, out.